What's up, beautiful people of the internet? I'm IGN tech editor Nic Vargus, joined by wireless editor Justin Davis, and we're here to show off the size of the iPad mini when compared to a few other things. So we have the 3rd gen iPad, the iPad mini of course, Kindle Fire HD, Nexus 7, a quarter, a Honda Civic key, and a diesel watch for size, frame of reference.
Yes, so that's exactly right. We have the iPad mini here. As you can see when it's compared, this is a 3rd gen iPad next to it. It's considerably smaller and considerably thinner. And of course, everyone kind of expected that because that's what the iPad mini is all about. But what people maybe haven't seen or don't know quite as much about is about how it compares to the Kindle Fire HD and Google's Nexus 7.
So the iPad mini appears to be about the same size as the Kindle Fire HD, but it's actually kind of different. And the reason behind that is that the aspect ratio on the iPad mini is 3:4, which is the same as the aspect ratio on original iPads. Whereas on the Kindle Fire HD, it's 16:9, but it has this huge bezel right here.
Yeah, so I mean, when these devices are off or when their screens are powered down, they seem to be about the same size. The Kindle Fire HD is obviously a little thicker, but they don't seem that different. But once you get them both on and in front of you, the screen on that iPad stretches much more and fills up much more of the screen than on the Kindle Fire HD.
So that makes for a lot more surface area for the apps on the iPad mini as compared to the Nexus 7 or Kindle Fire HD. It also has the same resolution as the original iPad and iPad 2, which means that it can run all the same tablet apps.
Yeah, so when you're looking for apps for your new iPad mini, what you're actually going to be downloading and buying are apps, the same iPad apps that you buy for your normal iPad, and they just sort of scale them down and have them fitting on a smaller screen than they do on the regular iPad. So when you compare the 3 leading 7-inch tablets on the market, some real differences between them emerge. You can see that the Nexus and the Kindle Fire HD have these sort of rubberized back versus the Kindle's aluminum back.
Right.
And I think it's just very interesting to take a look at the thickness of the 3 devices. When you stack them up, the iPad mini is the thinnest and lightest of the 3 by a fairly wide margin. And they might seem, when you see photographs of them or maybe hold them in your hands individually, they seem like they're almost identical, but they really do sort of have different weights and feels and densities when you actually get them in your hands.
So Justin, you play more tablet apps than anyone else I know. Do you have a favorite tablet size?
Yeah, I mean, the verdict is still out on what's the ideal tablet size for web browsing and playing video games. When the original iPad came out, everyone was very enamored with the screen. It was so much larger and you had so much real estate for playing sort of high-end games like Infinity Blade. And I really didn't know what to make of 7-inch devices like the Nexus 7 until I got one in my hands. And then I saw it's actually, a great size. Sort of the lighter body makes it easier to, hold for an extended length of time. It's a nice size for watching videos, for reading books. And so the iPad mini, might end up sort of being the ideal way to play games. But we don't know for sure because it is a little bit less powerful than the current iPad. And so we'll need to see how it sort of stacks up on high-end video games. But in terms of the actual screen size, it's large enough to be able to do everything that you want to do on it and see everything clearly, but it's not so large that it's cumbersome in your hands. So yeah, I mean, it's a great size for playing games. But we will have a full review. Are you working on a full review of the iPad?
Of course, yeah, we'll have plenty more coverage in the coming weeks, including a full review. So for all things iPad mini or tablet related, keep it locked to IGN and IGN Tech.